Hey, what's up, guys? I got a treat for you today. It's going to be sad when I no longer get the Washington Post in paper because it's like, I don't know, a quarter of my content is reviewing Washington Post articles. But I just can't justify spending $25 a month on it. That's almost $1 per newspaper. And I could just access it online. Like, it's not like they say anything that other people don't say, so I'm going to have to switch up my content whenever I stop my subscription. But for the time being, I'm going to enjoy these articles because they are fucking hilarious. Side note, I don't think my podcast with Hunter Avalone about Islam is going to be published because it's been over a month and he hasn't uploaded it. I messaged him and said, you know, what's going on? Was there a problem with the audio? Did you change your mind about publishing it? Whatever. He didn't get back to me. I looked at my side of the audio, tried to edit it, but my voice recording software is not nearly as good as his, so the quality I got was not that good. I tried fiddling with it, but it's just not good. You know, it's just whatever. Oh well, it was an opportunity. Maybe I get an opportunity to have a podcast with bigger YouTube later down the road. But today, we're going to review a Washington Post article. Now, I swear to God, is satire about itself. Like, if you hand me this article without the Washington Post label on it and just said, you know, is this real or satire, I would have a really hard time figuring out. It's like the hashtag not the onion, or is this the onion, or for real? It's just like, this is such extreme liberalism, just extreme social justice warriors progressivism. It's so fucking extreme that if I was to make fun of social justice, like to become one and then write stuff to make fun of it, this is what I would write. Because it's so ridiculous. They don't say anything that other liberals and pro-progressives have been saying. But this is particularly about illegal immigration, but they just push it to the extreme. The emotions they're trying to pull because of the emotional rhetoric that they use, the little buzzwords, the heartstrings that they try to tug, it's completely over the top. So let's just go. You can't even take the front fucking picture seriously. Okay. She was born on July 4th to Mexican immigrants, and they refused to cower. Dun dun dun. Just that the title itself is just amazing. She was born July 4th to Mexican immigrants. Oh, you conveniently let out illegal in the title. Because Mexican immigrants, that's no problem. If she was born Mexican immigrants. I'm not a racist. I don't give a fuck what race you are. You know, I don't care where you're from, as long as you believe in the values that America is supposed to uphold. You know, or even if you don't. Like, I'm friends with a lot of people who have political issues, political views that are much different than me. I'm still friends with them because they're decent people and they're nice and caring, you know? So you could hypothetically not believe in the values that I think you should believe in. And I'm still fine with you. But the illegal part, that's the fucking problem. It's just like, well, it's an unjust law, so you should break it in response to counter it. You know, in defiance. It's like, I believe you should do that against laws that are actually unjust. Like the war on drugs, for example. I have no problem with people using drugs or selling drugs because they're just providing a market commodity that has a demand. You know, I don't give a fuck. So if I catch someone doing something, like, I don't know, in the streets or just in the store or something, it was like, whatever, you know, even though that's against the law, I believe that law is unjust. I'm not going to do anything about it. You know, so, but thinking that you have the right, we'll go into this article in depth, the whole thing, but like the right to come into a country illegally, benefit from the system without paying into that system, not assimilating at all, not adopting or at least respecting the culture that you are living in. That is the reason why you have such a good standard of living in the first place, because of the country that you are illegally breaking into. Not respecting that at all. Not even learning English. No, that's not a right. That is not a right. Where the fuck do you think that's a right? Where? You know, I know radical social justice warriors believe that's a right. For any minorities to come into the U.S. without any documentation. Doesn't matter if you are a criminal or a murderer or whatever. It's just, or even if you're not. A lot of them aren't. I'm not saying all. Hashtag not all. Actually, all of them are criminals, not all of them are murderers. You know what I mean? You know, so it's just like, and they refuse to cower. Do you say the same thing about, like, human traffickers that work in the U.S. that, you know, kidnap people and then traffic them off for money? Because all Trump is doing, of course they bring Trump into this, Trump is enforcing the law. You broke the law, get the fuck out of here, because you didn't do the proper documentation. You didn't file the paperwork. You know, and they are refusing to cower. They are going to stand strong against the fascist Trump. You know, but do you say that for other people who break the law and then get caught? Well, these people didn't get caught, but you know what I mean. So let's just get into it. You know, I'm like 5 minutes into this video. I haven't even started reading it. They try, just, oh my God. They try to act like they are more American because this child, this anchor baby, was born on the 4th of July. And they gave her the most American name they can think of, Heather. Their only child, born in Maryland, the most American day of the year, 4th of July. They're trying to portray them. It's okay that they're anchor babies, that this person's an anchor baby. It's okay that they're illegal immigrants. Because they're very American. Look, they had a baby on 4th of July, and they gave her an American name. So it's okay. Like, that's what they're, like, underlying theme they're pushing when they write these words. That's what they're pushing the readers to believe. And it's just like, oh, are you fucking kidding me? You are picking out little aesthetics about this person's life and then thinking, well, that's okay. That, you know, her parents broke the law. Oh, okay, so here's the rule. If illegal immigrants have all their anchor babies on American holidays, then it's okay. It's okay they broke the law. It's okay that they are draining the system that they're not paying into because they don't pay income tax on their income because their income is through the black market. It's not on the books because they're illegal. You know, so it's just, oh my God. So it goes on for a couple of paragraphs I'm not going to read into because I'm not going to read the whole article, otherwise I'd be here for like 45 minutes. But then it goes on. The country had elected a president who called children like Heather anchor babies. Because they are. Donald Trump's not the first person to use that phrase. He didn't come up with it. This concept has been around for a while. And people like her parents, rapists and drug smugglers. Okay, that sentence really pisses me off because radical social justice warriors and liberals constantly cry that Trump called all Mexicans rapists and drug smugglers. No, he didn't. Why are you making me defend Trump? Because you're lying. He never, ever, ever said that all Mexicans are rapists and drug smugglers. He never said that. He said that some are, which are statistically, you can look by the crime and the ethnicity of the different crimes of drug smuggling and rape, that some of them are Mexican. He was just telling the truth. But liberals, in their constant crusade to defame Trump and to make him look like a Nazi. He said, oh, Mexicans were drug smugglers and rapists. He's such a racist. We can't elect him. We have to elect Hillary Clinton. It's just like, shut the fuck up. Look up the debate when he said that. He didn't say all of them. He just said some of them, which, again, is statistically true. So why do you have a problem with him saying that? It's all propaganda. This whole article is propaganda. It constantly pushes the narrative that Trump called all Mexicans drug smugglers and rapists when he fucking didn't. They don't have an argument against him. They don't have an argument against illegal immigration. So they have to come up with all these fake insults and fake events and just make up bullshit like her being born on the 4th of July is suddenly okay. It makes her okay for her parents to come to this country illegal. Just, oh my God. Donald Trump's vow to build a border wall and step up deportations was cheered by millions of his supporters, who favor tougher action against those who enter the United States illegally. But it set off a wave of fear among the country's 11 million undocumented immigrants. Yeah, that's usually how it works. You know, when Trump gets in office, he's like, we're actually going to enforce the law instead of being bleeding heart faggots who disregard logic and rationale to satisfy their fifis. And we're actually going to enforce the law. Yeah, it scares people who have been getting away with breaking the law for all this time. Because even though, we'll get to the other part about Obama and Bush. But yeah, did you say the same things about human traffickers? Like, let's say we have a governor in a certain state, you know, there's lots of human trafficking, and he comes in and vows to, you know, have more police raids to pursue human trafficking more vigorously than the last governor. You know, do you write an article portraying the human traffickers as victims, as people being assaulted by the authorities? And it's just like, They set off a wave of fear among the community of human traffickers. Yeah, and that's a bad thing because you don't say because you don't have an argument. Yeah, I hope it would create a wave of fear among the people who think that they can come to this country legally, just bypass all of the documentation and the paperwork and the fees associated with visas and work visas and student visas and green cards, whatever. You know, because they think, oh, I have a sob story. I came from a really shitty place, so therefore international law and U.S. law doesn't apply to me, and I should just be able to go wherever I want. No, shut the fuck up. No, that's not your fucking right. Heather's parents weren't immune to it. No one in their community was. Okay, this is another problematic sentence. You know, I know social justice words use the phrase problematic to describe everything under the face of the earth, and it's become a buzzword, it doesn't make any sense. But this sentence is actually dictionary-wise problematic. No one in their community was. What do you mean by their community? What is Heather's parents' community? The Hispanic community? Well, are you inferring that every Hispanic is illegal immigrants? Because legal residents, legal immigrants who are Hispanic don't have a fucking problem with this. They're not threatened by Trump's enforcing immigration. They're just like, we follow the rules. We did the paperwork, so we're not scared. So what is their community? Only illegal immigrants? Are you saying that they only associate with legal immigrants? And they have this little, like, tiny little economy within the U.S. that does all these things for illegal immigrants, and they don't know anyone else that's not an illegal immigrant because that's not part of their community? I mean, it's just, what are you inferring by this? I mean, it's just like, again, I keep going back to human trafficking because that's just the parallel I'm using in this video, but it's like the community of human traffickers. Like, why are you validating their crimes by acting like it's a community? The only thing that brings these people together is that they break the fucking law. What kind of community is that? Do you want a community like that in your fucking country? Just, Jesus Christ, this author, who's this author? Michael Miller, sorry, Michelle, you know, I got confused. So much of a faggot, I thought it was Michelle Miller, but no, it's Michael Miller. It's just like, the way they are portraying these people who break the law as a community under attack by the fascist iron hand that's coming down on them, you know, and they're just helpless. It's just hilarious. But they have been active in the immigrant rights movement for several years. Illegal immigrants don't have rights. They broke the law. I mean, they have, like, human rights. Like, you can't just kill them. They have the right to life, etc., etc. But they do not have a right to live in this fucking country because they didn't follow the rules. We have a legal immigration system. It's broken. I know. It takes too long. I know. It costs too much. I know. I'm the biggest proponent of making the legal immigration system easier, faster, more efficient, less expensive, whatever. I'm complete, like, in support with the immigrant rights people, that should be addressed. But that's no excuse to say, oh, this takes too long, it's too much money, I'm just gonna break the law and enter there anyway. That's no excuse. I'm sorry. Taking Heather out of school to attend demonstrations. You're taking your girl out of school so she's not learning to have in a demonstration that is sorry, lost my train of thought. You're taking your kid out of school, she's not learning things, in order to push a demonstration that is pushing for rights for criminals or immunity. It's like, no, we shouldn't be charged with illegal immigration, we shouldn't be deported. We are above the law. You are advocating for immunity for certain laws because you broke that law. It's just like, what kind of values are you teaching your children? This is what it's meant to be an American, they taught her. Speaking out, seeking change, demanding rights. What rights are we breaking? Oh, your right to come in here illegally and benefit from the system without paying into the system? No one has that right, you stupid fucking retard. You have all the rights that any human, regardless of race or religion, have across the world. Like, right to bear arms, right to assembly, right to freedom of speech, a right to a fair and speedy trial. You have all those rights. What are you demanding? What rights is Trump taking away from you that you don't have? Oh, the right to get everything you want without paying for it? Oh, that's not your right. That's no one's right. It doesn't matter what race or religion you are. No one has that fucking right. So it goes on, blah, 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 blah. No, this part kills me. So Madai is the mom's name. Even Madai, who called herself a chingona or badass on Facebook, was afraid. She thinks she's a badass? You're cowering in fear because the president is actually going to enforce the laws on the books, and you're crying in despair that your rights are being violated, and that you should just be able to do whatever you want and break international and U.S. law. You're not a badass. You're fucking... You're a bitch. That's what you are. You're a fucking bitch. The government isn't giving you everything that you want for free, and then you're crying that your rights are being broken. You're not a chingona. No. You're not a badass. You're not tough. The minute the authorities come, you'll be crying in fear, begging for someone to help you, but no one will because you broke the fucking law. So again, I'll leave a link to this whole article because I'm not going to go through every single paragraph because again, we'll be here for like 45 minutes or an hour. But I just want to say one last part that freaking killed me. So Heather, the 9-year-old girl, the anger baby, translated a sign for Madai, the mother. And it's just like, whoa, wait a second. You said Heather was born in this country 9 years ago. So that means you have been in this country for 9 years. And Heather had to translate a 2-word sentence for you? That, from English to Spanish, that means you have put absolutely no effort into learning English, and you have been here for 9 fucking years. I can understand completely. I've learned other foreign languages. I know that English is a really annoying language to learn. It's very hard, so I have no problem if you've only been here for a year and your English is very broken. Or even after 2 or 3 years and you have a heavy accent. No problem with that whatsoever. What I do have a problem with is that you come in this country, think you can break any law you want because you have a fucking sob story from whatever stupid country you came from. You demand all of these rights, all these social services, all these benefits. You go within the illegal immigrants' microeconomy in this country, and everything you do, your bank, your paycheck, your healthcare, everything is within this illegal immigration mini economy. So you interact nothing with the legal economy in this country. And then you don't even try to assimilate into the country that's giving you all this fucking shit, and you don't even bother learning the language. Obviously, that shows you that Madai has no respect for the United States, or for the culture, or for the government, or for the people. She has absolutely no respect for them. She doesn't even bother learning English to learn what Washington's bed, that's the sentence. She didn't know what that meant. She doesn't give a fuck about this country. All she wants is to suck out as much benefits as she can from this system. This broken system we have in this country that allows illegal immigrants to flourish because you don't enforce the laws in the books. She just wants to take as much as she can without giving any respect, not even bother learning English. She's been here for 9 fucking years. I don't care how hard the language is. You can learn a decent amount of the language in 9 years. That is such a long time. Even Chinese, which is a very hard language to learn, you could learn a decent amount to get by in 9 fucking years. But she didn't even fucking try, because she doesn't give a shit. In conclusion, I'm going to give a libertarian perspective on this, on illegal immigration. Now, there are radical libertarians who believe in open borders. They believe that if we get rid of the welfare system that goes to illegal immigrants in this country, that is, if we get rid of that, then illegal immigrants have no incentive to come here, and therefore they won't come, so it doesn't matter if we have open borders. Illegal immigrants won't come because they won't get anything out of it. That's bullshit. That's a fantasy world. That is just so naive. I can't believe that people actually think that. To protect its citizens' right to life, right to property, that are guaranteed by the Constitution, the state has to enforce borders. There's a reason why every single country on the face of the planet has borders. Excuse me. There's a reason why every single country who's tried open borders has failed and collapsed, because it's just not sustainable. So the libertarian perspective is, in order to protect its citizens' rights that is guaranteed by the Constitution, we have to enforce borders. We can't have rapists and murderers and all these other criminals entering the country, because they will commit crimes against the American people. I have my right to property. You are not enforcing the border. A person comes here and steals my stuff or robs me, whatever. This is a clear-cut example. If you enforce the laws that are on the books, if you had border control, this crime wouldn't have happened to me. Same thing with murder. If an illegal immigrant murders a person in the United States, you couldn't prevent that murder if you enforce the immigration laws in the books. So There it is. That is a masterpiece of a Washington Post article. I'm really going to miss those articles because they're so fucking funny, because they paint illegal immigrants as a persecuted community that is like fleeing Nazi Germany or Mussolini's Italy, or it's so hilarious. And this is what they actually think. It's not like this one person, Michael Miller, believed this and only a few other people believe it. You know, it's just a fringe opinion, a political opinion. No, millions and millions of people think this. That we should just let anyone come into this country, take whatever benefits they want. They don't have to pay into it. They don't have to pay income tax. No, that's okay. They have a sob story. They're minorities. They have the quality of low expectations that lots of liberals have. It's like, oh, they're minorities. They're Hispanic. They can't do what we do. So we have to give them all these benefits to prop them up because they can't do it on their own because they're Hispanic. They're stupider than us. That's what these people think. I'm sitting over here. It's like, well, I don't judge people based on race, religion, or sex, or gender, or anything else for that matter. So a Hispanic can be just as smart or as successful as a white person or a black person. So there's no reason to give them immunity from the law because they have a sob story, or because they're Hispanic, or because they're illegal. It's like, no, you're going to follow the law like every single other fucking person should. Let's fix the legal immigration system so it's faster, more efficient, cheaper, and that will solve the fucking problem. We won't have these problems of sanctuary cities. We won't have these problems of illegals committing all these crimes against other people. We won't have to drain the economy of all these illegal immigrants draining the system without paying into the system. All these problems will be fixed if we just enforce the laws on the books.